Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bjorla. Glad you're with us tonight. What started as the sale of Apple AirPods in New Haven over the weekend quickly turned into an armed robbery.
And now officers are spreading safety messages as the holiday shopping season ramps up. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc has their message from police headquarters.
New Haven police are now encouraging people to utilize public, safe places like this one when buying and selling things online. This after one transaction went south over the weekend.
If I want it, I'm going to buy it just because I'm scared. These people are crazy.
When Jordan Gray heard about what happened in this neighborhood over the weekend, all she could think about was her best friend who lives here.
And there's a lot of little kids that run around here, so the fact that they came right over here on this street, the back end, is a little crazy.
Police say just after 6 p.m. on Saturday, someone was meeting up with a buyer to sell them AirPods after they connected on the app OfferUp. The two were supposed to meet near the corner of Harper Ave and South Genesee Street. Then directions from the buyer changed.
The individual arrived in a vehicle. He was then directed, hey, come to the back of this house. When he got there, an individual displayed a firearm.
Police say two young men walked up to the victim. One of them took the AirPods without paying and got away. Officer Christian Bruckhardt says it's similar to another armed robbery that happened about a month ago.
Again, if they start sort of redirecting you to other places, and once you start getting into backyards, areas that aren't well lit, that should start showing some red flags.
Bruckhardt encourages people to utilize public spaces like the police department for online transactions. There's even a designated spot right outside where cameras are constantly rolling. He also says the lobby is usually open for extra security.
I know what to expect. I know what's going to happen, so no, it doesn't scare me or shock me.
Cotilia Trujillo, who has lived here for more than a decade, says she sells things all the time near or out of her home.
I never really experienced a bad situation, so no. Personally, I think I go off of profiles and, I get a feel off of the person, and that's how I move forward.
But she usually buys outside of her neighborhood, and if the other person wants to meet somewhere public, she has no problem accommodating them.
I would definitely stay where I go, like Shelton, Trumbull, places like that. And if someone doesn't feel comfortable, I don't mind meeting them outside of, where they feel comfortable at.
Now, police haven't made any arrests in this case just yet, but they say if you saw or heard anything over the weekend, you're asked to please reach out. We are in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Julia, thank you very much. Let's get a check on the forecast now. I hope you brought the umbrella because it's a rainy start to the work week.
Yeah, meteorologist Deshaun Robinson here now with a check on the forecast. Deshaun?
And good evening, everyone. Yes, we are finally getting the rain that we desperately need here in Connecticut. But these showers are working their way out of our area, and we expect mostly cloudy skies for tonight, some areas of patchy fog. There is the potential for some heavy rain and gusty winds on Wednesday, and then drier and colder end to the work week. So right now it is still raining across the state, mainly light to moderate rain, and as you can see, these showers are beginning to wind down in our western counties, and we expect these showers to wrap up within the next couple of hours. If you are heading out there right now, temperatures are generally well above freezing, 43 in Chester, 49 in New Haven, and 43 degrees in Hartford. The remainder of the night, we are likely to see mostly cloudy skies, areas of patchy fog. During the latter part of the night, temperatures will remain above freezing for tonight. And Tuesday will be a rather dreary and cloudy day. I'll let you know how much rain we are talking about for Wednesday.
Deshaun, thank you. Developing right now after a manhunt lasting several days, police are questioning a person of interest in the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Police are identifying that person of interest as 26-year-old Luigi Mangione. Connor Hansen has more now from New York.
Police say it was an employee at a Pennsylvania McDonald's who recognized the person of interest from his photos. They say he was also carrying some key evidence.
Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges.
The NYPD says police found a so-called ghost gun and suppressor similar to the one used in the crime, plus a fake ID and a handwritten critique of the insurance industry.
We don't think that there's any specific threats to other people mentioned in that document, but it does seem that he has some ill will toward corporate America.
Detectives say he has ties to Maryland and Hawaii and might have attended college in Pennsylvania. Investigators had traced the suspect's path from a hostel on Manhattan's Upper West Side where his face was caught on camera. From there, they say he went to the Midtown Hilton, shooting Brian Thompson at point-blank range. The suspect was caught on camera again, riding a bike into Central Park, where police found his backpack and searched a pond for more evidence. Those publicized pictures were likely the key to cracking the case.
A McDonald's employee did something we ask every American to do. If you see something, say something, but most importantly, do something.
Now, that was Connor Hansen reporting. Police plan to extradite Mangione back to New York City to face charges there.
An update tonight. A trial date has been set for the man accused of killing an Ansonia mother. Jose Morales' trial is expected to start March 18th. Jury selection is set for February the 24th. He is accused of killing Christina Holloway in 2019. Holloway's daughter, Vanessa Morales, has been missing since the murder. Jose is also considered the prime suspect in that child's disappearance.
Right now, the city of Milford is considering adding red light cameras to their streets. The Milford Board of Police Commissioners and Police Department are holding a hearing right now, and they are considering putting red light cameras at several intersections on Boston Post Road and speed cameras at several other locations. Officials say the proposal is in response to a recent rise in incidents of cars speeding.
Well, this afternoon, Senator Richard Blumenthal joined warehouse workers on strike to push for new federal protections.
Now, those workers say they've been forced to work longer hours and under poor conditions, all after forming a union. And now they say some have been fired since the strike started.
Fox 61's Angela Bavaro joins us at the site of the strike outside the iHealth warehouse in Enfield.
Today marks 1 week since this strike started. In the shadow of this strike and joined alongside some of these workers, Senator Blumenthal is announcing the reintroduction of the Warehouse Worker Protection Act at the federal level.
What do we want? Contract. When do we want it? Now.
These iHealth warehouse workers say they are taking a stand against what they call management's unfair labor practices and union busting. On top of that, the day after this strike started last Tuesday, the union says 11 of the striking workers got this text message from iHealth management. That message says those workers had voluntarily resigned their jobs by not being at work during the first 2 days of this strike. The union says it has filed an unfair labor practice charge against iHealth.
After we unionized, this kind of behavior, their characters change with us. You know what I'm saying? They told us that they looked at us in our eyes and they said that we have your back, we will not turn our backs on you. And as soon as we left that office, this is exactly what happened.
So they went again from working on average an 8-hour day to working mandatory 12-hour days, including Saturdays, and even including Memorial Day, which was completely unprecedented.
The other piece of this story, Senator Blumenthal says his federal legislation to strengthen protections for warehouse workers would prohibit or otherwise regulate dangerous quota practices. That includes practices that violate health and safety laws and also prevent workers from exercising their right to organize. For people at home unfamiliar, work quotas, those are performance standards that require employees to complete a certain amount of work within a specific time period.
So the Warehouse Worker Protection Act essentially stipulates that all warehouses, carriers, freight workplaces have to share with all their employers and the general public what their quotas and stipulations for work are, right? So a sort of easy one to think about is Amazon, right? They have all these quotas for how many packages you need to move every single day. And so this legislation would mean every worker would know what that sort of parameters they're being constantly marked are. Because as it stands, workers are rated on a scale they aren't even told.
Senator Blumenthal's office says the legislation does have bipartisan support. Reporting in Enfield, I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Angelo, thank you. We have reached out to the iHealth for comment regarding those text messages that workers say they got, as well as the claims by the union about working conditions. The company says, quote, "We continue to respect the rights of our colleagues that are part of the bargaining group to discuss with iHealth their needs and concerns in a respectful and lawful manner, and look forward to bringing this matter to a swift and mutual beneficial resolution." There are no safety issues at the Enfield facility. In fact, it has been almost 4 years since the Enfield facility has had a single reportable safety incident.
Well, UConn's provost is naming the graduate programs that will likely be discontinued, suspended, or consolidated. The university is blaming low enrollment numbers. On the list for possible suspension, 12 of them, like international studies, educational technology, medieval studies, and more. And on the chopping block, one is a master's program with 1 student enrolled, and 4 graduate certificates with no students enrolled. 18 other programs are still under review, and the report is not naming which programs would be consolidated. The Board of Trustees will vote on closures December 11th.
Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is urging a judge to block the sale of his InfoWars website to the satire website The Onion. A judge heard arguments in a Texas courtroom today on this. Last month, The Onion was named the winner. They got the winning bid over a company affiliated with Jones himself. Jones says the bankruptcy auction was not run properly. The auction was held to help pay families of victims of the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. The families won lawsuits against Jones for calling the shooting a hoax.